In the past 2 years, I kind of miss just having those spontaneous connections with other humans.
Song of myself. I celebrate myself and sing myself, and what I assume, you shall assume. For every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you.
तख्तियाँ अलमारियों की जो इत्र से ठसा ठस भरी, मैं सांस लेता हूँ उसे खुशबू।
With music strong I come, with my cornets and my drums. I play not marches for accepted victors only. I play marches for conquered and slain persons. Have you heard that it was good to gain the day? I also say it is good to fall.
Who goes there, hankering, gross, mystical, nude? How is it I extract strength from the beef I eat?
I heard what was said of the universe, heard it and heard it of several thousand years. It is middling well as far as it goes. But is that all?
How could I answer the child? I do not know what it is any more than he.
I am there. I help. I came stretched atop of the load. I felt its soft jolts, one leg reclined on the other.
I pass death with the dying and birth with the new washed babe, and am not contained within my hat and boots.
The suicide sprawls in the bloody floor of the bedroom. I witness the corpse with the dabbled hair. I note where the pistol has fallen.
I have heard what the talkers were talking. The talk of the beginning and the end. You see, but I do not talk of the beginning of the end.
Limitless out of the dusk, out of the cedars and pines. Sing on, dearest brother, warble your reedy song, loud human song with voice of uttermost woe. O liquid and free and tender, O wild and loose to my soul, O wondrous singer, you only I hear.
Now I will do nothing but listen to accrue what I hear into this song, to let sounds contribute toward it.
Through the cool night, Yahank, he says, and sounds it down to me like an invitation. The pert may suppose it meaningless, but I, listening close, find its purpose and place up there toward the wintry sky.
Hear now the tale of a jet black sunrise. Hear of the murder in cold blood of 412 young men.
28 young men bathe by the shore. 28 young men, and all so friendly. 28 years of womanly life. And as I see I stand here alone this year, all so lonesome.
The carpenter dresses his plank, the tongue of his foreplane whistles its wild ascending lisp.
It is for the wicked, just the same as the righteous. I make appointments with all.
Regardless of others,
ever regardful of others, maternal as well as paternal, a child as well as a man, stuffed with the stuff that is coarse, and stuffed with the stuff that is fine.
And you must not be abased to the other.
In all ages and lands, they are not original with me. If they are not yours as much as mine, they are nothing, or next to nothing. If they are not the riddle and the untying of the riddle, they are nothing.
You see, I resign myself to you also. I guess what you mean. I behold from the beach your crooked, inviting fingers. I believe you refuse to go back without feeling of me. We must have a turn together.
Speech is the twin of my vision. It is unequal to measure itself. It provokes me forever. It says sarcastically, Walt, you understand enough. Why don't you let it out then? Come now, I will not be tantalized. You conceive too much of articulation.
Is he waiting for civilization? Or past it and mastering it? Is he some Southwesterner raised outdoors?
The pleasures of heaven are with me, and the pains of hell are with me. The first I graft and increase upon myself. The latter I translate into a new tongue. I am the poet of the woman, the same as the man.
To be in any form. What is that? Round and round we go, all of us, and ever come back thither. If nothing lay more developed, the quahog and its callous shell were enough.
Is this then a touch? Quivering me to a new identity, flames and ether making a rush for my veins.
Слепое, любовное, победное прикосновение руки, укутанное в мягкую ткань, острозубое. Разве тебе становится больно, когда ты покидаешь меня? Did it make you ache so, leaving me?
All truths wait in all things. They neither hasten their new deliverance nor relate to it. They do not need the obstetrics forceps or the surgeons. The insignificance is as big to me as any.
What is less or more than a touch?
Logic and sermons never convince. The damp of the night drives deeper into my soul.
Only what proves itself to every man and woman is so. Only what nobody denies is so.
I believe a leaf of grass is no less than the journey work of the stars, and the prismire is equally perfect, and a grain of sand, and the egg of the wren, and the tree toad is a chef d'oeuvre for the highest, and the running blackberry would adorn the parlors of heaven, and the narrowest hinge in my hand.
I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God.
The human heart beats with terrible throes out of its ribs, where the pear-shaped balloon is floating aloft, floating in it myself, and looking composedly down, where the life car is drawn on the slip noose, where the heat hatches pale green eggs in the dented sand.
Would you hear of an old-time sea fight? Would you learn who won by the light of the moon and the stars? Listen to the yarn as my grandmother's father, the sailor, told it to me. Our foe was no skulk in his ship, I tell you, said he. His was the surly English pluck, and there is no truffer or truer, and never was and never will be.
For me, the keepers of convicts shoulder their carabines and keep watch. It is I let out in the morning and barred at night.
Calling my name from flower beds, vines, tangled underbrush, lighting on every moment of my life.
Earth, you seem to look for something at my hands. Say, oh, top knot, what do you want? Man or woman, I might tell how I like you, but cannot, and might tell what is in me and what is in you.
My own voice, orotund, sweeping, and final. Come, my children, come, my boys and girls, my women, household and intimates. Now the performer launches his nerve. He has passed his prelude on the reeds within.
Turbulent, fleshy, sensual, eating, drinking, and breeding. No sentimentalist, no stander above men and women or apart from them. No more modest than immodest.
My faith is the greatest of faiths and the least of faiths, enclosing worship ancient and modern and all between ancient and modern, believing I shall come again upon the earth after 5,000 years, waiting responses from oracles, honoring the gods, saluting the sun.
I have said that the soul is not more than the body, and I've said that the body is not more than the soul. And nothing, not God, is greater to one than oneself is. And whoever walks a furlong without sympathy walks to his own funeral dressed in his shroud.
And as to you, death, and you bitter hug of mortality, it is idle to try and alarm me. To his work without flinching, the accoucheur comes. I see the elder hand pressing, receiving, supporting. I recline by the sills of the exquisite flexible doors and mark the outlet and mark the relief and escape. And as to you, corpse, I think you are good manure, but that does not offend me. I smell the white roses, sweet-scented and growing. I reach to the leafy lips, I reach to the polished breasts of melons.
Stand up! What is known, I strip away. I launch all men and women forward with me into the unknown. The clock indicates the moment, but what does eternity indicate?
It is a word unsaid. It is not in any dictionary or utterance or symbol. Something it swings on more than the earth I swing on. To it, the creation is the friend whose embracing awakes me. Perhaps I might tell more. Outlines. I plead for my brothers and sisters. Do you see, oh my brothers and sisters? It is not chaos or death. It is form and union and plan.
The past and the present wilt. I have filled them and emptied them and proceed to fill my next fold of the future. Listener up there, hear you. What have you to confide to me? Look in my face while I snuff the sidle of evening. Talk honestly, for no one else hears you, and I stay only a minute longer. Do I contradict myself? Very well then, I contradict myself. I am large. I contain multitudes. I concentrate toward them that are nigh. I wait on the door slab. Who has done his day's work and will soonest be through with his supper? Who wishes to walk with me? Will you speak before I am gone? Jesse? Where are you? Will you prove already too late?
We made it. All right, this one I'm gonna ask for the audience participation. So when the barbaric yawp needs to be sounded, I think we all have a yawp we can let go. It doesn't have to be yawp, you don't have to say yawp. It can be any primal noise you wish to let forth to the city. The spotted hawk swoops by and accuses me. He complains of my gab and the loitering. I too am not a bit tamed. I too am untranslatable. I sound my barbaric yawp over the rooftops of the world. Yawp! Yes, and the last scud of day and the last yawp holds back for me. It flings my likeness after the rest, and true as any on the shadowed wilds, it coaxes me to the vapor and the dusk. I depart as air. I shake my semi-white locks at the runaway sun. I effuse my flesh in eddies and drift in its lacy jags. I bequeath myself to the dirt to grow from the grass I love. If you want me again, look for me under your boot soles. You will hardly know who I am or what I mean, but I shall be good health to you nevertheless, and filter and fiber your blood.
Over the past few years, we have lost a lot of human contact and just touching, being with people, being able to pass people on the street without crossing the street. It's been really hard.
To my good friend Mohammed, who I became friends with this summer when my wife and I were vacationing in France. As soon as he mentioned Leaves of Grass, we were off and running and bonded over poetry, including William Carlos Williams and the great Palestinian poet Mahmoud Darwish. And he said at the end of our time together, he said, the solution to all the world's problems is poetry. And I agree with him.
Failing to fetch me at first, keep encouraged. Missing me at one place, search another. I stop somewhere waiting for you.